springtime here at the University of Connecticut. Things are warming up and the snow is melting. We hit the streets to see what our students are most excited about. Do you guys want to be on TV?
Thank you.
Okay. Do you guys want to be on TV?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'll pass on that. Only.
That's fine.
Sorry.
That's fine. Do you want to be on? Do you want to be on TV? Oh, that's okay. Do you want to be on TV? Okay. Bye. You guys want to be on TV? Okay. Do you want to be on? Okay. Wait, what am I doing wrong? Do you want to be on? Okay, that's fine. Do you guys want to be on TV? No. It's a no.
That's it.
TV. All right. Yeah, Mom? Yeah, no, you just have to come in and pretend to be on TV.
Sorry.
Do you want to be on TV?
I actually have to go. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. Bye. Like, just no. You're busy. Okay. So what are you most excited about spring?
Probably the foliage. I really like seeing the new leaves come out. That'll be really great.
All right, cool. Okay, we're good. All right, thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, see ya. Do any of you guys want to be on TV? Dicks. Do you want to be on TV?
No.
No? Okay. Do you guys want to be on TV?
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I can't stop my friend.
All right. Do you want to be on TV?
I'm actually catching a bus right now.
All right. Have fun on the bus. No? All right. So no? Okay. What are you most excited about spring?
The heat, definitely. The warmth,
Yeah, it's different than cold, right?
definitely. Yeah.
Cool, thanks.
You're welcome.
Hello and welcome back to the UConn Tonight Show. I'm your host, Tony Tyson. On our show today, we have our guest,
Julissa, Antigua.
Julissa. Thank you so much for coming on. All right,
Thanks
tell
for having me.
what are you here to represent?
I'm here representing Violet and Perlac.
Okay. What is Bila and Perlac?
So Perlac is the cultural center here on the 4th floor of the Student Union, and it's called the Puerto Rican Latin American Culture Center. So it represents all Latino communities here on campus, and Violet is a group that's associated with Perlac, and we're a dance group. So what we do is we put together performances of salsa, bachata, and merengue, which are the Latino dances, and we perform.
Awesome. So do you have any special events coming up for Bila and Perlac coming up soon?
Yes, so we have Latin Fest, which is our biggest event of the semester. It's April 11th at the Jorgensen, and we will be performing there as an opening act.
All right, awesome. So, you mentioned it's in the biggest event of the semester. This is at Jorgensen. Do people have to buy tickets to get in, or how does that work?
Yeah, so student tickets are cheaper, and then there's like adult tickets for people like your family and stuff like that can come see it. The range is 26 to 45, I think, depending on where you want to sit.
Okay.
Because it is a concert afterwards, so we're just the opening act, and then there's other events afterwards.
Okay. Do you know some of the other events that are coming afterwards after Perlac and Baile?
Yeah, so Jorgensen put together 2 artists this year. One of them is Peña Suazo y La Banda Gorda, and they perform merengue.
Okay.
And the second act is a salsa performer. His name is Ismael Miranda, and he's from Puerto Rico. So
That's awesome. Good taste of everything there.
yeah, exactly.
All
and
right.
then the DJ will fill in the spots, kind of deal. But it's an open dance floor, so everyone can come and dance afterwards.
All right, that's awesome. So how did you first get involved in either Perlac or Baile? Which one did you first get involved with, or how
So before I came in, I knew someone that came to UConn, and like I've heard them talk about Perlac, so I knew I wanted to be involved. And like my first day of class, I like went to the center and like wanted to check it out. So I found out about Baile through them, and I've been involved since my freshman year. I started dancing with them for homecoming. We did lip sync together. We won that year with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That was my freshman year, and then I just kept on doing it with them after that.
And Perlac won this year again, right?
Yeah, we did win this year
Yes,
with
yeah.
Avatar.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome. Freshman and senior year, that's the best way to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, what is your official title in Perlac and Baile? In Perlac?
Perlac, I'm just the Baile representative, so I'm the president of Baile.
Okay.
So when Perlac gets together and puts all the organizations together, I represent Baile in that council.
Oh, okay. So, who else is involved in this council for Perlac and Baile?
So it would be LSA, which is the Latino Student Association, all the fraternities and sororities that are involved with Perlac as well. Metas is represented there as well. Students Without Borders, like those type of groups that either meet or are affiliated with Perlac or have started at Perlac and branched out, stuff like that.
All right. So you mentioned that one of the organizations is Metas. What is that exactly?
Metas is a mentoring program that is run through Perlac, and what they do is that they take in first-year students, and it's a mentoring program, so they show them through the campus, show them what resources they have available to them, make sure that they're successful in their years at UConn.
All right, awesome. So I'm going to try to now bring it back to the whole Latin Fest that's coming up soon. When does planning for that initially begin? Like when do you all start planning for the biggest event of the semester?
The semester prior.
The semester prior?
So that's when we start talking about who we want to come as the artists. Usually we put together a list of people that we are interested in having, and then we pass it on to Perlac, and Perlac passes it on to Jorgensen, and then they do the contacting because they're the ones that technically hire them.
Yeah.
And then after that, once the spring semester begins, then we start talking about, okay, what dances are we doing, how many senior solos we want to do, because this is our biggest event. So we use that to showcase our seniors that are leaving. So I'll be doing a senior solo this year as well. So we start organizing as far as that, and then about maybe like a month into the semester is when we start practices.
Oh, okay. So how does a student on campus get involved with Perlac, or get involved with being on this committee that chooses people for the Latin Fest? How do they get involved with that?
As far as getting involved with Perlac, just come
show
in,
up.
show up. Yeah, we're super open, super friendly. If you just ask about the groups that we have available, then everyone will be able to tell you what they're about, and then if you want to join, it's super simple. I know some groups have like a membership fee, $5, $10 max. Unless you want to join a sorority, then that's different.
Yeah. It's a little bit pricier.
As far as Baile, we have a weekly meeting where we teach the UConn community how to dance the basics of salsa, bachata, merengue, and then we throw in some club moves.
Okay.
So that's usually how people become involved in Latin Fest. So people come to Baile, they like it, they want to know more, they want to perform. Then we get them from the Baile weekly practice to our performance practices. And then that's how they become involved and become performers.
Awesome. So when are your weekly practices? What days are those on?
They're on Thursdays.
Thursdays. Nice. And where are they?
They're in the Union, mostly in 304B or 304C. It alternates.
Yeah.
So what we do ask is that students give us their email address so that we can let them know exactly where. But for the most part, it's 6 to 8. And then we split that time in 2. And we do like salsa in the beginning, and then the next half we'll do bachata or merengue, and we switch it up. But for the most part, salsa is always the first to go, because that's the one that people have been more interested in, and the one that people always want to learn. Like you hear Latin dancing, everyone's like salsa. I want to know how to do that.
Yeah.
So that's the one we keep a constant, and it's always from 6 to 7.
Awesome. So is there any way for people to reach out to the UConn community about this? Are you guys on social media or whatever?
Yeah, we're on social media. We're also on the UContact page.
Okay.
And I'm getting word from Subag and all the student organizations that people have been using that more as a way of contacting groups that they're interested in joining.
That's good.
So we're definitely on the UContact page. We also have a Facebook page. So if you just put in the search bar UConn Baile, you'll be able to find us. And then we also have the Perlac page, which is UConn Perlac, and it's PRLACC.
All right, awesome. So you're on Facebook, are you on Twitter and Instagram also?
I know Perlac has a Twitter page.
Okay.
And an Instagram page.
Awesome.
We don't have a Twitter account for
fine.
Baile. But I know Perlac does have one.
All right, cool. All right, well, thank you so much for coming.
No
Sergio.
problem.
This is awesome. All right, look forward to Latin Fest this year. All right, and we'll be back with more UConn Tonight Show. Shut it. That was really good.
Thank you. I felt like I was talking super fast. I was
Hello, and welcome back to the UConn Tonight Show. I'm your host, Tony Tyson, and my guests today for the show are...
I'm David Rifkin.
And I'm Steve Reilly.
And they're here to talk about the Communication Society's public speaking contest. All right, so David, what is your position in this contest?
Yeah, sure. So I'm the founder of the UConn Public Speaking Competition. I'm doing it along with Professor McGloin from the Communications Department and a number of other students within the Communication Society.
So what is the public speaking competition?
Yeah, so I would say, you can essentially think about it as kind of like, an American Idol or a So You Think You Can Dance, but instead of singing and dancing, it's about public speaking, which is a lot of fun because, everybody on campus, all students, public speak in some capacity.
Yes.
And a lot of people really enjoy it. A lot of people really fear it, but this is an incredible opportunity for them as well to step outside their comfort zone. So, it's kind of just like those competition reality shows where we have a panel of judges, we have a live audience, and we have students going out there competing one at a time. And you applaud for your favorite one, and the judges judge, they give feedback. It's really a lot of fun to be there. So I would encourage everybody to apply, and if it's not your thing, to go and attend as well. Talking about the actual competition, there are 3 different rounds essentially. The first one is a prepared speech, and our theme this year is technology and education. Its role, its benefits, its drawbacks, whatever you want to speak on as technology relates to education, and communication, of course. So that's prepared. Every student knows that topic going in ahead of time, and they have, I believe it's 6 minutes that they can give to speak about that. What I love about this competition is that it takes kind of each angle on public speaking and test that. So you have the prepared part, but then there's also a question and answer part where you don't prepare ahead of time. You're asked by the judges a question about your speech, and you have to answer that on the spot, right? So you might have an individual who's very talented at prepared, struggles a little more with the on-the-spot speaking, and vice versa. So a really interesting dynamic there. And then our last round is the impromptu round, where each student gets the topic and has 15 minutes to prepare, and then comes right on. So that's a surprise topic.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
it's exciting. You might want to come to figure out what it is.
Definitely.
And so based on those 3 rounds, the speaking is scored, and then whoever has the highest total will win the competition.
Okay, cool. So how does that whole scoring, I would say, rubric work? Like, how do you score someone?
Right, so we do have a defined rubric that the judges will use based on all your normal public speaking criteria. How you speak, your stature, how you interact with the audience, your lack of use of fillers like or like or anything like that, and your general demeanor. There's also a category for overall speaking, which I think is important because sometimes the whole may not be the sum of its parts, and you might have someone who gets higher scores here, but you're like, that person is just an incredible speaker, and they might have had a few fillers, they might have not interacted with the audience as well as we would have liked, but their overall was incredible. And so we take that into consideration as well, and I think we have a number of great judges this year who will give their fair judging on the competition. So looking forward to it a lot.
Cool. So Steve, as a participant in last year's competition, do you have any advice for future people who are competing in this one?
That's a good question. I think that with anything of public speaking, I think you need to think about how comfortable you're going to be up there.
Okay.
Because even myself, who I consider myself like a seasoned public speaker, maybe not super experienced, I was definitely nervous going up there. And it's really, people say I'm afraid of speaking in front of people, but really the only fear that you have is really failure. Your fear of failure. No one's afraid of giving a great speech. So I think that coming to terms with that, you're not going to make a mistake, or maybe if you can get comfortable with being uncomfortable in front of a group of people. I think that's the thing, that if you can overcome that obstacle, everything else from there is smooth sailing. But I think even I, like somebody who's done this once or twice, still struggles with that. I think that's something that everybody struggles with.
I was really simple. That's a really good advice, because it's very, very fair point that you brought up. No one's afraid of giving a great speech. People are just afraid of just, what if I mess up? What if I don't know, my shoes get untied, or whatever, something happens during the speech. But that was great. Thank you. David, do you, as the founding member of this organization, how do you have any advice personally for people getting involved in this?
Oh, I think the advice is absolutely just to have fun.
Okay.
Have fun up there and to step outside your comfort zone. It's like I touched upon before. Public speaking is a unique kind of thing, right? Because you're doing it in front of people, and it's a performance. It's not just like you're writing an essay or taking a test. It really is a performance, and it's something that in some way or capacity everybody does, right? So you have people that thrive off of that and are super comfortable and are enthusiastic to join this competition, and there are also people that are a little more hesitant, right? Public speaking, they say, is one of the biggest fears in people. So I think this competition really draws upon both, to be honest with you, and I love seeing people step out of their comfort zone, and I love seeing people who are already in that comfort zone taking it to the next level.
All right, great. Well, thank you. Steve, how do people get involved in this, or how did you get involved in it, really?
So in my freshman year, first semester, I'm a second semester sophomore now. I had taken public speaking because I had done some public speaking in high school, and I thought it'd be a great opportunity. Yeah. The second semester, of my freshman year, when this competition came around, I received an email from my TA saying, we'd love for you to do this and things like that. So I really just followed up, thought maybe it'd be a great experience for me, and it ended up being a great experience. So that's kind of how I got involved.
Okay. So David, can you tell us how the whole process works? Like, how do I get in? I know he just gave us how he got involved, but how does everyone get involved in this?
Yeah, sure. So, I can answer that in two different ways, I guess.
Okay.
First, starting based on what the competition actually is. So I founded this. I spoke to Professor McGoyan in my freshman year as well. We kind of got it running in my sophomore year. I'm a junior right now. And in high school, I was involved in a number of public speaking competitions. We did it on the local, the regional, and the national level, and there were a lot of different, avenues for competitions. I came to college still really excited about this kind of stuff, but there really weren't the same number of opportunities. So I thought, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could found a competition, start it at UConn, see how it goes, maybe even expand it, to a number of other schools. The idea being, maybe one day this could be the preeminent public speaking competition for colleges, because that doesn't really exist right now. And it was a lot of fun and a huge success. We did it last year. We had an incredible turnout, a number of great contestants, Stephen included, and we really had a great time. It's even better this year with a lot more participation and enthusiasm from a number of people within the student body, and I think it should be a lot of fun.
That's great. I think that's awesome that you were able to you didn't see the opportunities here at UConn, so you created that opportunity here yourself. I think we can all agree that's one of the best things about UConn here, where you can make the opportunities available for yourself and for the entire UConn public. So whoever wins this competition, do they get a cash prize, a PS4, Xbox One, iPad? How does that work?
So I believe the prize right now is $400 that goes to textbooks or academic money, essentially.
Oh, okay.
But it's a lot of fun, and of course, you have the pride and the fun of winning as well.
Oh yeah, definitely the textbooks. That's paying for my
And the
textbooks.
textbooks, too.
Does not hurt at all.
Hey, but if you want to make it an Xbox One, I wouldn't mind.
Wouldn't mind. An Xbox One costs around $400.
Yeah, more or less.
I believe there are trophies that go around as well, so
Okay,
keeping
there
that trophy
There you go. I like that. All right. So David, what's your last name?
Rifkin.
David Rifkin. Where have I heard that name before? You might be the producer and our former producer and host of the show, Jesse Rifkin.
That's right.
Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to him. So I noticed that you're involved in this comm society stuff, and you're kind of almost going down roughly the same avenue that your brother went through. I don't want to put too much pressure on. I don't want to put too much pressure on you in that respect. Are you a comm major or a journalism major or?
No, definitely not. And, me and my brother were both very active on campus, but through very different channels, I think.
Okay.
So he was very much the political science journalism, communication, UCTV kind of things. He was involved in the daily campus, a lot of things like that. I'm much more involved in kind of the business and government side, right? So I am heavily involved in student government. I was the freshman class senator, sophomore class senator. Now I'm senator of the honors program.
Awesome.
I recently ran and won for the UConn student representative to the board of trustees, which I'm incredibly excited about.
That's awesome.
So that's my recent exciting news. And then I also founded this competition and also founded the UConn moot court team.
What is that?
UConn moot court team.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit for me?
Sure. So that's something completely different, but that's essentially you've probably heard of mock trial.
Yes.
Right. So mock trial is the courtroom arguments. You have the defendant, the prosecutor, the witnesses. Everybody's acting out positions there. Moot court is appellate argument, Supreme Court kind of argument where you're arguing the constitutionality and the laws of a lot of things. It's kind of a different perspective on that, but it's a lot of fun. Mostly done in the law school realm at this point, but I thought it'd be great to get it on the undergraduate level as well.
All right, awesome. So Steve, how else are you involved in campus outside of being involved in this public speaking contest?
Oh man, I don't have any resume like that, unfortunately. Done some stuff in SBA. I work with the honors program a little bit here and there. But really, I'm just I'm content to kind of, see how it goes from the sidelines. You know what I mean?
That's good,
just hanging out, run a few fantasy leagues. I mean, what I mean?
Yes.
You know what? That's what floats my boat. So.
I did a fantasy league this past year. Came in like 8th, but still.
Hey, listen, there's always next year.
So you mentioned you were involved in SBA. What is that?
It's Sports Business Association.
Oh, awesome. All right, so can you elaborate on what that is?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a member, so it's not like I'm any high-ranking officer or anything like that. But they bring in these really interesting people, anything sports related. They have broadcasting execs. We had an athletic director last week just come in and speak to the students and just tell them a little bit about what they do. A lot of kids here, I mean, of course, being UConn and the sports school that it is, want to get that career in sports. And so I think that hearing an inside perspective like that is amazing. So whether they're from ESPN or from a minor league baseball team, I mean, it's all relevant and it's all super interesting. And I'm a huge sports fan, so it's great to actually meet those people and see what the ups and downs of their day is like.
All right, that's awesome. So both of you mentioned how you're both to both different degrees involved on campus. Do you have any advice for upcoming students or new students that might want to get involved on campus as well? I mean, it's going to be April now, but still, how can people get involved on campus?
Absolutely, and I think that's one of the greatest things that UConn has to offer. Being the big school that it is, and a lot of people that are passionate about so many different things, there are an unbelievable number of student organizations on this campus that you can join. And the great thing about it, as you mentioned, is if you don't find one that floats your boat, you can go and create it on your own and find a lot of people for it. I've done that twice, and I've also been a member of a lot of already existing student organizations. I think the way to do it would just be to talk to people and to research what's out there. I mean, there's the involvement fair, which is pretty much every single organization on campus. And if you go, I can't imagine that with the diversity of organizations we have here, you wouldn't find something where you can make a lot of great friends and get involved.
I heard we have over roughly 600 clubs, a little bit over that at this point now.
Something like that. It's only going to keep growing too.
Oh, definitely, yeah. So, Steve, you mentioned that you're a member of these different organizations. What advice do you have about getting involved on campus as well, just as a member?
Well, I think that a lot of people say join clubs and you'll make friends that way, but I think that there's also a very viable strategy to do it. Vice versa. You go out, create a network of people that you like, people that live around you and things like that, and obvious, just naturally, they're going to expose you to what they do, and they'll have a passion for it. And you never know, sometimes you fit the bill for something that allows you to qualify for a position like that. I have friends in just a wide variety of organizations, and sometimes I look into that or I look into this, and it's a great way to get around and really understand what this campus has to offer. Because just going on your own hobbies, you're never going to think outside the box, and because sometimes you're fit for a role that doesn't necessarily appeal to you from face value.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one piece of advice that I have for people that would rather make friends than go in a group of strangers and join an organization that they feel like maybe they're a little bit of an outnumber. So that would be my advice.
All right, great. Well, awesome. Thank you guys both for coming on the show. Steve, thank you so much.
Thank you.
David?
Thanks very much. It was a lot of
Thanks.
fun.
All right. And that's it for the UConn Tonight Show.